Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community. This is podcast number 348. As always, I am joined by the bros, the XoneBros. First, it's Mr. McSpicy.
Hello, how's it going?
For those of you listening, you can probably hear it
in my voice.
in his voice, but his face is naked. He has shaved his beard. He's shaved his mullet.
The mullet's gone too. The beard and the mullet. And I'll tell you, I'm freezing. That mullet was like a coat of just warmth and around my shoulders, and it just felt so good. And my beard, I have not shaved my face in 10 years.
You'll appreciate it in the summer.
Oh, well, it's not the summer now.
Well, when it becomes summer.
Okay. Yeah. Well, back then, I'm going to have a beard by then again.
Dude, no, I like this look. This is my favorite.
You like it? Yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
My mom, I was telling you before, my mom didn't like it. My wife likes it.
Yeah.
But my mom was, she grew up in California, loves the surfer, kind of long hair look on men, right? So she's like, I like my men with long hair. Yeah. It's like, oh. Well, I love you too, Mom. And I brought her flowers because it's Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So just so you know, that's what I did.
I forgot it's Valentine's Day. Damn it.
Yeah, Sunday?
Yeah. Dang it. Next is Jordan the Man. Jordan, welcome.
Hello.
And last but not least, I am X1. We are the X1Bros. Our newer gamer club game of the month is Falconeer. Did anybody have a chance to jump into it?
I downloaded it because it was only like 1 gig.
It's like 1.5 gigs.
I haven't had a chance to play yet. You did, though,
I did. And I'd like to give my first impressions are it's not a game for me. I like the idea. I like the concept. I enjoy flying around as a falcon. There are a couple like menu issues that I had. Just it's a little bit confusing, and I might just be dumb. But also, I feel like the camera is too far away, so that when I am fighting, whether it's pirates or other hawks or falcons, I feel removed. I don't feel like as in the battle as I otherwise would. So, for instance, when you play like Star Wars fighting games, you know what I mean? What's the X-Wing?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, you feel in and a part of the battle, even though you're in space and you could go really far away. Like it all just works. This one, I just feel a little bit disconnected, but I do enjoy flying. They nailed the flying mechanic. That's super fun. And it's a really cool concept. It's almost like an open world way to do it, but I just don't, after like 4 hours of trying really bad and wanting to get into it, I decided,
nope.
I just don't think it's for me. That's not to say you won't enjoy it. In our gamer club chat, a lot of people were enjoying it in there. Although a few people did say it took them a while to get into it. So maybe I just didn't get far enough.
That's generally how you play games.
Yeah.
You play it and then you're like, but I could probably play Vigor right now. Right?
So, yeah, that's it. But that's our game club game of the month. Come join us over on Discord. YouTube or XoneBros.com/Discord is a way you can join us over there. We do have a Game Club Discord channel that you can chat and discuss the game of the month with and play it with us.
Tell everyone you like it, you dislike it, whatever. Enjoying it.
Go over there
whatever.
and tell me why I'm wrong, because I'm sure I might be, but it's just not for me. I don't think. I think
that's so funny.
That's it. Fitzy says the right stick sensitivity is way too high. You try to look around and it whips you. It is. It's really hard to target different birds.
Yeah.
The birds. But anyways, that's my experience with Game Club. Streams. Guys, we are finally on. We've been figuring out the whole YouTube thing. We are finally on a regular stream schedule. That's right. Every Monday and Wednesday evening. Come join us. Join Jordan the Man as he goes through. He went through Dragon Quest this week and Rogue Company this week. So come join in every single week. Monday, Wednesday will be stream time. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Be informed whenever we go live. We also drop videos at least 3 times a week, maybe more. It depends on the week, but come join us. Come check out all our videos, content, and the streams Monday, Wednesday. Jordan, how was Rogue Company? No, this was Rogue Company Season 1.
Yeah, Rogue Company is really fun.
Yeah, give me Season 1. How do you feel like they did their season? Let's actually pull up Rogue Company. You know what?
Yeah, I can do that.
You know what's really good in Rogue Company? What really, like, the different abilities appeal to me, and their characters have character.
The best way to describe
The
best way to describe Rogue Company is it's third-person Counter-Strike with Rainbow Six Siege operators.
Oh.
The reason I say that is because people compare it to Valorant, which is they're not wrong. It's like Valorant too, but the abilities in Valorant and like in Overwatch are much more out there, I
Sure.
guess. They're much more flamboyant, I
Yeah,
guess.
I can see that.
Whereas their abilities are much more Rainbow Six.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like a radar, a
Yeah.
super, your bullets get stopping power, essentially, right? Stuff like that. But it's really fun. I like it. If you like Counter-Strike, I think you'll enjoy this game because it's a third-person Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
But I like it a lot. I like their season. I think I like season passes that only have 50 tiers. It feels much more attainable than the 100 tiers. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with 100 tiers. Apex does it. Call of Duty does it. Sea of Thieves does it. Fortnite does it. When I jumped into this one, I was like, oh, it's only 50 tiers. Like, I'm already level 30. I'm like, oh, I'm almost there.
Guys.
So they have a lot of cool cosmetics. This game works perfect for cosmetics because
You can see
you're
your
in
character.
third person.
You can
So
see yourself.
It's like Fortnite where it's much more. Yes, I got this skin and I can see it. You can see your weapon skins. It's really fun. I really enjoy it. It's free to play, and the
always
best part
good
about
fun.
this game is it's cross-play and progression on. I'm pretty sure every platform it's on, and it's on every platform:
That is
PC,
excellent.
Nintendo, Xbox,
PlayStation.
PlayStation as well. I don't know if PlayStation talks to the other consoles. I believe it does. There's some weird things between like Xbox and PlayStation, but I'm pretty sure it's all it is all cross progression.
I mean,
and it's cross play, which is great.
Tell me about the gunplay and mechanics. How does it feel? Is it sharp? Does it whip?
No, it feels
Does it
good.
clap?
Do you remember when we played Warface Breakout?
Yeah.
And we'd get frustrated with like bullets not registering.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in
That
this
is a game
Yeah.
that you cannot have that happen.
Well, and the thing is, I played that game a couple of weeks ago on stream, and it felt like the same thing was happening. And we looked it up, and there's still some issues with
that
you know.
game's
So
dead
it's just
then.
like it's frustrating because
Yeah.
I love these types of game, Counter-Strike, Valorant, Rogue Company. This style of game is why I'm really excited for Crossfire X to eventually come to the console.
Yeah.
But the gunplay feels good. It feels tight. It feels clean. The third person, the whole game feels tight and clean to me.
Yeah.
It feels, I don't know. I don't want to compare it to Gears of War, but you know how Gears of War just felt good? Like it feels clean? That's how this feels. You can't go into cover and stuff like you can in Gears of War. You can't roll around, which is great, but...
Now give me the Game Pass, or not the Game Pass, but the Battle Pass Season 1 breakdown. Last week we talked about Sea of Thieves went into their Season 1 Battle Pass. You enjoyed it, but there were some things that you wanted to change there. How have these guys done Season 1 with cosmetics? And
so in
things you
Sea
can
of
earn?
Thieves, I think it's... So in Sea of Thieves, my criticism was I feel like there's a lot of gold and doubloons, which is fine because you can then take that gold and doubloons and buy whatever cosmetic you want. But I would prefer my Season Pass to be more cosmetic stuff that's only in that Season Pass. Now, I think having 100 tiers is to the detriment because if you took away all that gold and doubloons, Sea of Thieves would probably be around 50 tiers, and that would almost be all cosmetics.
Yeah.
You know what
that
I mean?
Would be less is more sometimes.
This one, 50 tiers, there's a lot of there's a lot of things in this game. So you can have your nameplate that you have in games. Like when you kill someone, it pops up. You can completely customize your nameplate, so they have different banners, different icons. So a lot of those are thrown into the Battle Pass. They have different weapon skins for primary weapons, secondary weapons. They have a cool melee skin called RBG. It's basically a white skin with RGB on it on all your melee weapons.
Wait, RBG or RGB?
RGB.
Okay.
Like RGB, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think having 50 tiers is that sweet spot because now they do offer gold in some of their tiers as well. So, you essentially, how does it work with some of these battle pass? You basically make your money back if you complete it. It's, close to, give or take on some of them. It's only $10. But I think having that 50 tiers is really that sweet spot.
So is this a game that you recommend the three of us play?
Yeah, this is definitely a team
community.
This is
plays,
this is definitely a team-based game. It's 4v4. It's got 3 main modes. My favorite mode is the demolition mode, which is the Counter-Strike bomb plant defend. They do have different modes, like it's essentially like a team deathmatch and a capture the flag type mode. I like to play those as warm-up just to get the juices flowing, and then I jump into the main mode here.
Nice.
But it's really good. It's free to play right now on Game Pass. Game Pass perks, you actually get stuff for the Battle Pass. You get so much XP for the Battle Pass, some gold, which is the in-game currency, and then a couple cosmetic items. So if you have this game, which is free, jump onto Game Pass perks and claim it while you still have a chance.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
Yo.
can we mention Game Pass perks? Because you did a video on that this week.
Yeah.
I feel like they need to advertise that a little bit more.
Yeah, they really don't.
It's very
kind of
under the
hidden.
radar.
Yeah, it
really is.
It is very hidden. So,
and there's a lot of good perks in there.
yeah, Game Pass perks this month's additions are really high quality. In fact, we could show that video because I go through them. The Game Pass perks is, I mean, you get your traditional like road companies on there.
Mm-hmm.
You get Phantasy Star Online. It seems to be one that's always there. Gives you like a nice little boost. But you also get this month for Microsoft. It's Anime Month.
Yeah, so you get some free animes that you.
So
can
you get
watch.
Dragon Ball. Is it Dragon Ball Super? I think.
It's one of the Dragon.
I think it's Dragon Ball Super that you get for free. The first 13 episodes, and then you get one time, as well as your first 13 episodes. And I could honestly be completely wrong there, but
Yeah, but it's really cool because the reason I'm at level 32 is because I went up like 10 free levels
Just
because
from that
I
perk?
claimed the Game Pass perk because it gives you, they tell you how much, but it gives you X amount of XP towards Battle Pass. You hit claim, redeem the code, and then you have extra gold. So I took that extra free gold that I got for being a Game Pass member, bought a cool skin for one of the characters. It's a really cool feature that I think Xbox should advertise more.
so-
just kind of push out
so
there. Just say,
one-
hey, if you're a Game Pass member, check this every
One
month.
Piece Dragon Ball Super is what you got for the 2 anime seasons. First 13, I claimed both of those right away. There was a Smite Season 8.
Starter Pass.
Smite is always on there as well. It's really smart of these games, too, because it's a great way to get someone into the game. Absolutely.
So how do you get to where these are?
So you hit the jewel button, guys. If you've not seen it, first of all, you can go check out the video over youtube.com/XoneBros, and you can watch how to get those perks. But just hit the jewel button, go to Game Pass, and right below like their main picture that will be there, there's a section, and just hit perks. And it will take you to your perks, and then you can go claim them.
So we're watching a video that David made on our YouTube channel.
Yep.
And Chad is saying this is Inception bro level. The bros are talking about the bros while watching the bros.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Because we're watching our own video.
Our plan is actually to eventually start reporting on our own news stories. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
That's exactly what we just did.
But no, so what was? Remind me what the Rogue Company one was, because you got.
So Rogue Company, it's the Season 1 starter pack, which gives you, and I think you go over it in the video, it gives you X amount of XP for the Battle Pass, so you gain a certain amount of free levels. I forget the number, but it gives you a certain amount of XP automatically towards the Battle Pass. It gives you weapon skins, and it gives you, I think, 600 gold, which 600 gold is enough to buy a skin for your favorite character, right? So it's really cool. And I'll be honest, I don't check this as often as I should anyway, because again, it flies under the radar. I wish Xbox
flies
would
in the
kind
face of common sense.
push this more to front and center. I'm going to try and check it at least once a month to see if there's any changes, any new additions.
They
or
usually
stuff.
add
Yeah.
stuff in
So-
once a month, and then there's an expiration date on those. Some of those are only a month. Some of those are a couple months long. So, for instance, I'm really into Vigor. About 2 months ago, they gave you
They did?
500 free crowns and a gun pack for Vigor. So there you go.
how do you think they can showcase it more, the perks?
Putting it right on the front screen.
Yeah, that's
Because
a good
I
idea.
always see those advertisements they have, and that's actually, to be honest,
that's advertising. That's money.
Yeah, that could be
Yeah,
used
yeah,
for
yeah.
someone else to advertise it.
Yeah.
Pay Microsoft.
tweet it out. Maybe, I don't know. Just
They
just
might-
make
they
people.
probably do tweet it
they
out.
probably
Maybe
tweet
it's not
it out.
paying
Maybe they do. Maybe they do. It's just, I don't know. Showcase it more, I guess.
That's a great question, Spicy.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
that's maybe they don't know how to do it, and
Well, that's-
they're asking that same question.
That's the thing.
So-
like, you're like, why don't they just do it more? And I'm thinking, where and how?
So right there, where it says 40% off Immortals Phoenix Rising. If you guys are watching the stream live, as soon as you turn on your Xbox, there's the dashboard which has your game. It has the main tile on the left, and then it has the tiles across, which is all your recent stuff. Underneath that, there's 2 slots that are always for advertisement. Usually it's Game Pass or a new game, or sometimes they'll put
that's where-
charities up there.
That's where it was. So I'm gonna. You go down to press the Game Pass on the jewel, and it's right there. It's just a small little button.
Yeah, on perks. But I say they put it on their, just at least advertise it every once in a while on your front screen. Just say Game Pass perks, check out now, or something. You know what I mean? Something like that. But
Maybe
I feel like maybe it's more popular than I think, but I do feel like it's just a little bit under the radar. I mean, I don't know. Let us know how many people knew about this, right?
Yeah, that's famed flea in chat says they should at least include it in Major Nelson's weekly video.
Yeah, that would be another good idea. He does the This Week on Xbox every Friday. that would just at the beginning of the month when he mentions the new games with gold, maybe just say, hey, and check out the new Game Pass perks.
Sure.
Yeah. This
So-
brings us into a discussion that I'd like to discuss. There was a discussion that I'd like to discuss.
Fair enough.
A topic that I'd like to discuss. And that is Xbox's strategy here. There was an interesting interview this week over at Gaming Vault by Josef Fares. Now, he's the director of A Way Out. He's, like Jordan said, he's the supermodel that's a
Yeah,
developer.
he's a male model that's a game developer.
Yeah,
I'm pretty positive.
a male model
He's
that's
actually
a
he's
game
actually a
developer.
pretty cool guy.
Slash
From the
stand-up
interviews I've
comedian.
seen.
very good looking.
Yeah. He is.
Slash stand-up comedy because he's pretty hilarious too. Anyways, he was asked about what he thinks about Xbox, what he thinks about PlayStation, and here's what he had to say. He says, I don't really care about consoles. For me, it's always been focused on games. He said, I mean, right now, I'm much more a fan of Sony's strategy because they make more unique IPs and focus more on games that I really enjoy that are story heavy. So I hope Microsoft goes that way. I mean, with Game Pass, I'm not sure what that's going to give. I mean, if there's no games, that makes no sense. Doesn't matter. Another thing, I don't see it as a war as well. He continues, like looking at how Xbox boss Phil Spencer talks about this, it seems more that he wants Game Pass to get on PS5 as well. But at the end of the day, it's about games. He continues about Game Pass. He says, however, this Netflix of gaming is interesting because I don't really see how it's going to go in the future. It's hard to tell. It's not like movies. Games are a bit different, but it's going to be interesting to follow to see what goes on there. But I sure hope that Sony continues with what they're doing, making great games like The Last of Us, Spider-Man, and all that they do. And so the question came up on the internet this week, and there was discussed everywhere. Does Sony have a better strategy? What do you think of Xbox's strategy? And so I thought, well, let's discuss that here. I don't think that's the right question. I don't think does Sony have a better strategy. I think the question ultimately is, will Microsoft's strategy work? Because having great games is always the strategy, the high end strategy. But with Game Pass, is this the correct strategy? We are what, 6 months into it? Let's say we're a year into Game Pass right now. Spicy, how do you think the Game Pass strategy is working out for Microsoft? And do you think it's going as well as you'd hoped it to be going? Or just where are you at right now with Game Pass?
Well, I have to look at it from the perspective of the consumer, right? Because that's what I am. I don't have Microsoft's numbers in front of me. I don't know if it's working, if it's not working, or if it's going to work. But as a person who enjoys games, plays games, I pay the same price, close to the same price of a game or two, and I get a lot of games throughout the year for essentially free. I mean, I am paying that price, but I'm also getting the Microsoft titles.
The exclusives.
Yeah, the exclusives.
Correct. So as I got to look at this as a consumer, I think it benefits us greatly. I play games that I never would have played before. Let me give you an example, actually, just that happened recently. I didn't play the Hitman series until Hitman came out on Game Pass like a year and a half or so ago.
Yeah, maybe
2 years?
maybe a year, maybe a year,
maybe
ago.
a year or so ago. And now, because I played that on Game Pass, I actually purchased Hitman 3 when it came out a couple weeks ago. I would never have done that if it wasn't originally on Game Pass, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Oh yeah, no, it does.
And so in that case, it actually got me to get up off my butt and buy a game that I normally wouldn't have, because I mean, I enjoyed the Hitman series. I played them a long time ago, but I just wasn't. I was out of the cycle of the Hitman series, and this got me to do that. Also, I'm able to play a lot more games. I just go through. I do this probably once every month and a half, 2 months. I'll go through and just see the new games that are on there, and I'll just hit download and I'll try them.
Yeah.
And I'll really enjoy them. So I'm getting a lot of benefit from it. Microsoft is getting a lot of benefit from it as well, because they now have a monthly subscription
It's like a gym pass for gamers.
Correct. So from my perspective, it works very well. I give money and I receive a lot in return. They take money and, I mean,
Yeah.
this is really, I don't really mean it to sound so stupid, but
For you as a consumer, it's a win.
for me as a consumer, it's a win. And Microsoft is making money from this decision from my perspective.
Yeah. In September, I have the numbers here. In September, Game Pass had 15 million subscribers this last September. And this last month, on their latest earnings call, they reported 18 million subscribers. So up 3 million. That's solid. That's a really solid
big
growth.
number.
Yeah.
And so to say that maybe Sony's is correct or incorrect, or Microsoft's is incorrect or incorrect, I don't know. I know that traditionally, Sony has done very well, and Microsoft has done very well with the traditional way of doing things. You create a great game, you create a great console, you sell the games, and you sell the consoles. That's what they're doing. It's hardware with the software, but this is such a new way of looking at it that I think Microsoft, as far as the gaming side of things, is one of the first people to actually take that step. They're a first mover, really, to do this, and I don't know of any other company that could do this, and because it's different, right?
It is different, absolutely. And you have the console ecosystem, which is kind of this self-contained system that gets you started, that you can then launch over to PC and even cell phones eventually via streaming. Psychotic in chat says, as he's talking about as an average consumer, he says it saves me money in the short term and allows me to spend money on the battle passes and other in-game items. I think that's a great point. I'm not someone that spends money in-game. I have spent money in-game lately because Game Pass. I'm already getting the game for free. I'm paying for the DLC. Well, I'm not getting it for free, but I'm paying that monthly tier price, which is a lot cheaper than if I were to purchase the games.
It's pennies compared to if you were to buy multiple games throughout the year. You're definitely saving a lot of money, right? So
yeah. Famed Flea said, last year alone I saved about $360 having Game Pass by not having to buy the games that I was interested in.
Yeah, and so to go back to your original question, is this going to work for Microsoft? I see it as, we're seeing, you had the numbers, 15 million to 18 million. I see this. I don't know about Josef Fares and how he said all those things in that quote that you read, but this is a huge benefit to gamers. I think the biggest challenge for Microsoft is not necessarily having this, as a subscription service, but how to educate people onto how much they save, and they're getting a great deal in doing that, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a different way of thinking and trying to get your audience to think that way as well. I think that's the challenge that Microsoft has to face and is facing, and I think they're doing okay. They're increasing their sales with it, right?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. I would like to make a statement here, and then Jordan, you react to this. Tell me if I'm right. Tell me if I'm wrong. Josef Fares, and he's absolutely correct here, that good games sell an ecosystem, essentially.
Yes.
And that PlayStation has owned really good, interesting games, and that's kind of what he's going with. I would like to make the argument that Game Pass, in order to take it next level and really have huge mass appeal and draw people away from other services, you do have to have that next level game. Mm-hmm. Those next level titles, like a God of War, for instance. I would like to make the argument, though, that in order to just be successful, you don't have to have those titles on a Game Pass, because instead of selling a quality game, you're selling value. The value proposition is just so high at this point that anything above and beyond what we already have is really just bonus. Mm-hmm. Thoughts on that, Jordan?
No, I agree with that. So...
Back to you, David.
Okay, well, now give me your thoughts on
No, I agree with that.
Can you expound?
I like it.
No, I don't. It's interesting to see the strategies. I think both strategies work in a way, and if you notice, both companies are so they're doing their own strategy, right? Sony traditionally focuses on their first-party IPs. Microsoft is going this Game Pass route, but Microsoft is also making big moves in getting those first-party IPs, right? Unfortunately, it can't just happen overnight. We just saw the Bethesda deal, which didn't it double their first-party studios almost? They just announced.
Not almost, it did.
Oh, okay, it did. They just announced Perfect Dark from is it not the Coalition? They do Gears of War, the Initiative.
Initiative, yes.
Which is another first-party exclusive, right? So I think they're making moves to go that direction as well as have Game Pass. And even if you look over at Sony, who does have these really good first-party exclusives like God of War and Spider-Man, they're starting to dip into this subscription as well. With the PS5, I mean, I don't know if you want to count it as a subscription or not, but with the PS5, when you subscribe to the PlayStation service, you now get the library, 20 PlayStation 4 games? And then, of course, they do have their PS Now. So I think they're dipping into that as well. I mean, I think both strategies work. It just which one benefits you more.
Sure.
That is a question for each individual person to answer. Right now, I think with the moves Microsoft is making to get those first-party studios and the fact that Game Pass is literally the best value in gaming, I think that strategy, I think it might pay off for them in the long run. Not to mention, we're also forgetting it's not just Game Pass. We also have EA Play that just joined with Game Pass, and rumor is the Ubisoft Plus is going to come to Game Pass as well.
Yeah.
So if they can get all of that in one, I think it just increases the value of that service. And like you said, the value of that service at this point, even just right now without the Ubisoft service, is so high. It's almost. It's like the old Big Mac Mondays, you know. You're losing money if you don't go and buy a big, because it was buy one Big Mac get one free or something like that. You're losing money if you don't go and buy it, you know. And I feel like you're really missing out. To Mark's point, I've also played a few games on Game Pass that I otherwise never would have played because I wouldn't have just taken the time to, go out and buy them and download them, right? I also think Game Pass is really good for smaller developers to get their game out there.
Absolutely.
I think it's good for games like, let's take Battlefront 2, for example, that just went to the, I think it was last month. Star Wars Battlefront 2 went free to play on Epic Game Store for like a week. You could download it, and that just brought a huge resurgence of players back to that game. So it essentially brought a game that was almost done with its life cycle, and now everybody's playing it again, right? So I think Game Pass does things like that with
similar,
does similar things to that. It brings life into maybe older games. It brings new games to different players. But I think Game Pass, with the addition of EA Play and maybe the Ubisoft service, if those rumors are true, is the best value in gaming, and I think it's getting harder and harder to pass up. In addition, we do have these first-party games coming. So I think Microsoft, and I'm not just saying this because, I do an Xbox podcast, but legitimately, I think Microsoft is set up for the future better at this point than Sony is, because they already have Game Pass in place, already at a great value, with tons of games coming in with EA Play.
Well, they got the model figured out.
Yeah, and they're starting. We've now put in our time of waiting. We're starting to get these first-party titles out there, like the new Perfect Dark game, all of the new Bethesda titles, Halo Infinite later this year.
So let's do this. Blockbuster is no longer in business. What if Blockbuster created Blockbuster online video streaming before Netflix? We would just know we would know Blockbuster as Blockbuster.
Well, sure, yeah.
And that's the advantage of being first in all reality. It takes time to perfect the model.
I mean, the challenge really. Netflix had to go through that transition of mailing DVDs.
Yeah. And they still did for a while.
Yeah.
Do they still?
I think they still do.
That's hilarious.
I think they still do. But so my opinion, unlike Josef Fares, and I'm probably butchering his name, but I know he's handsome. So.
Joseph, the supermodel.
Yeah, the supermodel. My opinion is this is the future of gaming. Like he's very conservative in his opinion, where he's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see.
Waiting. Yeah.
I know what does work. This is what works.
Yeah.
But
and it's probably because I've tasted the fruits of this.
You have.
And that's I think the challenge that Microsoft has, and that's what I think they've been trying to do, giving Ultimate out for $1. Remember, they've been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
They're trying to give people a taste of that crack, because that's what the first one's free, but the next one's going to cost you. That's essentially what they're trying to do, because it is so good that if people taste of this, they'll be on board so fast.
Yeah.
Like you said, so for instance, the other day I'm playing the Falconeer, and I'm trying it out. I don't like it. I'm not mad that I don't like it. I just figure, you know what? This is not for me. Had I purchased that game, I'd be pissed. That's what Game Pass does for you. It kind of takes out the negativity
It does.
of gaming. It makes it a little bit more positive.
And what's funny is we haven't even talked about, Mark mentioned Game Pass Ultimate. We haven't even talked about the PC side of things that goes along with Game Pass, which also increases the value.
Well, and a big note there is Forza Horizon 4 is coming to PC. It has been announced. So that strategy is a whole other level of stuff that's happening with Microsoft.
What you mean?
Go ahead,
you
Jordan.
mean not Forza Horizon 4?
No. Yeah, Forza Horizon 4, the latest Forza Horizon.
It's already on PC.
Well, then it just came to PC.
Well, it's been on there for a while, though.
Well, Steam. then.
Oh, that's what. Okay, sorry.
Steam.
Sorry,
It's coming to Steam.
Yeah, so that makes more sense.
It's on Game Pass.
Don't be a
Ultimate, but
jerk,
Steam.
Jordan.
Yeah, sorry. I was just, what are you talking about? So, well, and I like I said, I don't think Sony's strategy is wrong because let's be honest, God of War was an excellent game, and and so was Spider-Man. I think those were two of my favorite games of the last generation on the PS4. Actually, I have to throw Ghost of Tsushima in there because that game was pretty cool. That was pretty awesome too. So I mean, those were like my top 3 games of the PlayStation last generation, right? So I don't think their strategy is wrong, and I don't think Microsoft's strategy is wrong. My point is I just think Microsoft right now is set up better for the future because they already have the foundation of Game Pass in place. Now they just need to start rolling out their first-party exclusives, which they're going to start doing this year.
I mean, well, let's consider it like pillars, right? They are putting pillars in place on a lot more fronts than I think the traditional way of doing things.
Yeah.
It's not like they're ignoring hardware. They still have the most powerful console, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like they're ignoring game developers and they're buying Bethesda. You know, it's not like they're ignoring all these things. They still have their traditional way of doing things. They sell games, they make consoles, just like Sony does. They're just adding on top of it different pillars of foundation to, you know, weather the future and bask from
Streaming
the
is
strategy.
Streaming is one of those. Streaming.
Exactly. I think it's just I honestly, because I play a lot of Game Pass games. I feel as though because I've dabbled in this, I just think it's the future because I think 3 years ago or 4 years ago when I didn't have this or however long ago it was, I don't even remember. I was buying games like a sucker.
We all were.
Yeah.
You know, and now that I have this, it's awesome. I just go, let's download that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I will be playing that one tomorrow.
Yeah, no, this is a good discussion. My problem with the way that this discussion was shaped this week was it did say
On the internet?
on the interwebs and
Clickbait, all that stuff,
journalist news sites was placed. Joseph Fares favors PlayStation strategy over Xbox, and that's not at all. It's just the proven strategy, PlayStation strategy of having quality games to sell your console and going from there. And it's not that Microsoft doesn't have quality games, but they are going in this subscription-based model, and that's yet to have been borne out and proven. And that's more of an accurate, and he's waiting for that, you know, and so that's more of an accurate, not which one is better, but will the Xbox strategy end up working? And so far, I think it is.
Yeah.
I mean, 18 million subscribers. That's that's nothing to scoff at.
Yeah. Great discussion. Let's discuss Liberation real quick. Now,
games.
This is a game.
We got some game announcements.
Trailer
this
that
week.
was announced, and we watched it in the pre-show. If you guys haven't, come join us on the pre-show, youtube.com/XoneBros. It's the show before the show. It's where we get down and dirty, and we discuss things before we just jump on here. So there you go.
There's a new game coming out called Disciples Liberation. It just dropped their announcement trailer this week. This announcement trailer shows no gameplay. It's just a cinematic trailer just to wet the palate. It does a good job.
It does.
So it definitely piques your
intense.
interest. It really does. But we do know a little bit about this game from just the description. That's really all we know.
Tell me what it's about, because we don't. Is this an RPG? Is
So
this
it
an
is.
MMO?
So this is all we know about the game. They on Steam. They have their preview up on Steam. It has a couple screenshots, and then it has their description. Disciples Liberation is a mature, dark fantasy strategy RPG with turn-based combat, which I like turn-based combat,
doesn't?
so I'm excited for that. Liberate the land of Nevendar and uncover the endless stories hidden within a richly detailed world where every decision has a consequence, which I like that too, and every wrong move could be deadly. And that's really all we know about the game, minus the trailer that we have, and then we have a couple screenshots on the Steam page.
So will it be good? Does it look good? We don't know.
This game is coming out later, 2021. It will be on the Xbox, which is exciting. I'm excited for it. It almost feels to me, David, you said it's got Witcher vibes.
It does.
It almost feels like a that type of story, a mature, dark fantasy story with turn-based combat.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Which I'm excited for.
If Witcher and Dragon Age had a baby.
Yeah. Well, and I'm almost getting Divinity vibes because in the trailer it shows 2 people and they're kind of connected to each other. So I'm almost getting that you're going to have a party of people. Maybe are we going to have in-depth mechanics like in Divinity or stuff? It really looks. It piques my interest, and and it came out of nowhere. They dropped it this week, and we're like, hey,
agreed. Spicy,
we're making a game.
Did this do anything for you?
I have no idea what I'm getting into, but I mean, everybody can go watch the trailer on YouTube right now. It's creepy. It's a little scary.
It's intense,
and everyone's attractive in the game. I mean, it's fantasy. There's a lot of win in this. So
it's a win-win-win.
Turn-based RPG.
I love turn-based RPG, which, by the way, I've started playing Dragon Quest.
Yeah,
now.
it's a fun one.
Fantastic.
Everyone in that game is cross-eyed.
Do you know what's funny about that? I know we're talking about this game.
Everyone in that game is cross-eyed.
He's not kidding. The town dog is more cross-eyed than anything I've ever seen in my life. Like it's like.
Well, what's funny is everyone in the game is cross-eyed except cool characters.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's a cool guy. He's not cross-eyed.
Sandy, I think the dog's name was Sandy.
Yeah.
That poor dog.
And if you're over 40, you're automatically 3 feet tall and fat.
That's
everybody
hilarious.
over the age of 40 is just like 3 feet tall and really round.
No, that's
but
funny.
they have some sweet stashes and beards. Don't
They do. They
That
do.
is some thick facial hair.
Thick.
I really I wanted to bring that game up because that's turn-based strategy. I very much enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that's Liberation, guys. We're very excited for it. Go check out the trailer. The other one that we're very excited for now.
Yeah, this one.
Where this is serious and hardcore and does this like Witcher fantasy vibe. This next one looks just fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun, brutal, team-based awesomeness. And that is Chivalry 2.
Yes, this is the sequel to Chivalry, Medieval Warfare, which, by the way, I have downloaded and am going to play when I get home tonight. I didn't play a lot of the first Chivalry, so I can't really talk about that, but the trailer for Chivalry 2, which is basically their announcement trailer for it coming to Xbox, really got me going.
Got me going big.
It's if you've never seen this game, it's basically they 64-player online for Chivalry 2,
players.
so 64 players.
Medieval combat.
Yeah,
simulator.
first-person medieval combat, and you can.
There's a lot of heads.
Yeah,
getting
you can
chopped
cut off
off
a lot of heads. You can. It looks real. I'll tell you, the sandbox in this game actually looks really fun. The way you can pick up, It's basically sieging a castle and defending a castle type of thing. I'm sure there's different game modes, but that's what we'll talk about. You can throw your weapons. You can pick up chickens. You can. It looks like have catapults that destroy walls. You can throw rocks down at people and barrels and light stuff on fire. I think the sandbox of this is going to be really fun. It looks like they've turned everything up to 10. They said, hey, what was good in the first one? And just turned up that
Turn
knob.
it up to 10. I predict that DLC, we're going to get jousting. I think we're going to get cavalry charges. I think
Jousting would be awesome.
They'll remake the actual game Joust.
Joust, yeah. This game just does it. Now, if you've never tried out Chivalry, I highly recommend it. I'm pretty sure if it's not, is it on Game Pass?
I don't know. I know we have it. I
Yeah.
remember I can't even remember. I know we played it for just a little bit.
I know I have it on Steam.
And we played it
for sure.
pretty fairly early, didn't we?
Yeah.
So
This is medieval simulation. Like it's hard. It's not hard, but if you get hit, you die. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And you go in with your team. You're trying to take over a castle or this point of interest. And look at that, dude.
Like
so
it looks
awesome.
really good.
Oh,
It's
just go
very
check out the
exciting.
trailer. It looks really good.
So Chivalry 2 launches on June 8th, 2021, so not too far away. And if you pre-purchase the game, you are guaranteed access to the closed beta, which starts March 26th through March 29th.
Yep.
So be sure to check that out if
There
you're
you go.
interested. New additions to Game Pass this week.
Game
I think very good ones. We got Final Fantasy 12, The Zodiac Age. Really good game. If you've not played it, it's a good time to jump into it. The game has already been on Xbox for a while, but now it's on Game Pass, so be sure to check it out. One I'm excited for, Jurassic World Evolution.
Now this is the building.
This is the
Zoopoly.
yeah, it's Zoo Tycoon with Jurassic Park.
Yeah, which a lot of people enjoy that.
I know, I've heard a lot of good things about it.
As have I.
So now on Game Pass, and then Stealth Inc. 2.
I don't know that
A Game of Clones is also now on Game Pass,
I-
which is very great. And then last, but certainly not least, moving on to a little bit of Halo Infinite. There is a video that dropped this week. It's about a 25-minute video where the developers talk about the sandbox of the game. It's the community manager and I think it's the lead sandbox developer. They talk about and answer questions from the community. They talk about the grappling hook, weapons, vehicles, and a bunch of different stuff. A couple things. I'll let you guys watch the video. It's really good. It's only 25 minutes. A lot of cool info in there.
Yeah.
They talk about the grappling hook specifically. They talk about you can grapple weapons to you.
Oh, I like that.
One question was, can I grapple a Banshee and steal it? And the guy said, well, yeah, why not? Stuff,
If you can grapple a gun, you can grapple a Banshee.
They also talked about, he did say this is a service game. He didn't really expand on it, but he specifically said this is a service game, which is kind of what we've been talking
perpetual.
about. Yeah, it's perpetual.
It's
right?
not. It's
right?
never ending.
I don't think, and I think they may have talked about this a little bit too. We're not going to get Halo 7 because this is technically Halo 6, right? We're not going to get Halo 7 anytime soon because the studio wants to focus on continual updates, which will introduce new weapons, game, all that stuff, right?
Here's my thought.
It's a service game. It's going to be a live
my
service
thought
game.
is, think of ESO. ESO comes out with this new chapter. That's how, in my mind, Halo Infinite is going to be. Halo 7, quote unquote,
will be a chapter.
A chapter in the Halo Infinite universe that you add on, similar like what Destiny does.
Yeah.
To its new events and new chapters and whatever. That's, I think, how Halo Infinite is going to operate.
Yeah. What's really exciting about this video, and this is the vibe that I got, is they really mentioned and talked a lot about the sandbox and how they want to make the sandbox fun and how they're putting things in place to make it easy to add new stuff, balance weapons. But they kept mentioning the sandbox, which, I mean, think about it. Think about the grappling hook in the sandbox. How fun was it in Titanfall when you grapple, in Titanfall 2, I think it was, when you grapple hooked someone and then just punched him in the face? You know what I mean? I like stuff like that. The sandbox, especially in a game like Halo, I think makes the game, especially on the multiplayer side.
Yeah.
Which is really fun. I look at Warzone. The Warzone sandbox is incredibly fun. I think that's where Battlefield 5 was actually lacking, is their sandbox wasn't the same as it was in like Battlefield 4 or previous games. And then Warzone comes in, and I mean, you could do crazy stuff in Warzone. You can throw detonators onto helicopters and drop them off onto cars. I think the sandbox, especially in these types of games, and especially on the multiplayer side, I think make the game.
So let's bring Spicy in on this. How do you feel about Halo going to this? I mean, and we're kind of speculating here, but
yeah, because they never really said anything.
Say
They
it,
just
but we can
said, they
assume.
did say it's a service game, and they talked about bringing continual updates that'll introduce new weapons and features.
So we're
and stuff
assuming
after release.
it's a perpetual, this kind of perpetual Halo, Destiny-ish sandbox type of game. How do you feel about that, Spicy? In your Halo, you want that in your Halo or no?
Well, I think of all games, this one lends itself very well to that formula. It really does. I mean, even in Halo 3, the samurai armor that I had to earn, right? Like, I feel like they can do that very well as the carrot on the stick, earn more. I think this game lends very well to it because visually you can see a lot of cool things that you can progressively get later on. So when you say service, are you thinking like battle?
We're talking like a Destiny,
like ESO,
like ESO. They haven't released ESO 2. They released a new chapter, which is a new expansion, essentially. Right?
Sure.
Destiny, I think, would be the best example and more comparable to probably what I think Halo Infinite might do. Is every so often they come out with like a big DLC that expands story, expands multiplayer. I think. Again, we don't know for sure because they haven't said anything, but from what it sounds like and what we're hearing is I think it's going to go that way, a live service type game. Right?
Yeah, but see, what makes Destiny so great is the ability to play hard and get cool stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like Halo is a universe in where you can really do some pretty incredible things by doing that, right?
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily, how would they do... I honestly don't know how they would do certain things if they're a service game, but they could in that universe. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You can build the game into a way that you can have it consistently bringing cool things, to the audience, right? That I would really enjoy, and that's the thing about these perpetual games is how do you keep people in them and keep them interested? It's giving that little carrot,
just a tiny little carrot.
Here, come here, little guy, come here.
Log in every day.
Well, and that's like the basic premise of a battle pass, right?
Sure,
carrot
exactly.
on the stick, right? You know, how do you keep? Now, I don't know if Halo's going to do a battle pass. There are rumors that. Well, actually, is it a rumor or did they confirm it that multiplayer will be free?
Well, I believe they confirmed.
I think they confirmed it. Yeah, and if multiplayer is going to be free, then obviously there's going to be some type of either battle pass or something, you know, that they're going to do.
Although with the Game Pass model, I'm not sure that you need that. I think. I think the selling point. Think about this: it's a Microsoft first-party title.
Yeah.
Your selling point would be Halo. Let's say it is what they purport it to be. This is the Halo of our lifetime.
Yeah.
Come play it here. It's as long as you're on Game Pass, everything is free.
Yeah. You could. I mean, yeah, Destiny's on Game Pass and they still do additional battle passes and stuff like that. So because you got to. I mean, because I feel like the developer does have to make money somehow, right? To keep.
Well, you're a Microsoft studio, like.
I guess Microsoft's making the money.
Yeah, it's a subscription
you
service.
So you can do that with that.
It's kind of a hidden subscription service if you think about it. Like wow, you actually have to pay money for that. Where this is, you buy the Disneyland bucks.
Yeah,
you know.
How funny would it be? You mentioned Destiny, and this is not to take anything away from Destiny. They're absolutely crushing it. But how ironic would it be? And we've yet to really see a Destiny killer. We keep expecting, like, oh, is Division going to do it? Mm-hmm. Oh, is Anthem going to do it? Nope, that was a big no. It was a first-round knockout by Destiny. What if the game that does it is Halo?
Well, it could. That's what I'm saying. They have a fan base.
The game that Bungie created
that's ironic, right?
Beats the game they've created.
You have the fan base, and you're trying to get new players and everything. We had this discussion a couple weeks ago about the challenge that they have.
Yeah, I don't want to be that person.
Oh, I know. It's you want to get the old audience, you want to get the young audience, and you want to get everyone in between, but they all like different things.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be
the challenge that they
It's going to be really interesting to see how they do, because I think I mean Halo actually has a battle pass right now on the Master Chief Collection, and it's free. It's not, I mean, there's some cool stuff on there here and there. It's not anything like that blows your mind, but they already have it. So I wonder if that's them trying to test things out, or
why not?
Do some
why not use it
systems,
as a tester?
What's going to be interesting is how they do the multiplayer compared to the campaign. See, what Destiny has is essentially an ongoing campaign with expansions, the drive to get exotic weapons, all these different side quests and stuff, stuff like that. Halo, we know it's going to be kind of an open world type-ish game. So I wonder how they're going to do, and what's co-op campaign going to be like? Are they going to have some type of RPG system in it where you can upgrade certain aspects of your armor throughout the main campaign? And I just wonder. I wonder what they're going to do with the campaign and the multiplayer. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it really will be interesting to see.
What I really want to see.
The irony.
Oh yeah,
would be hilarious. Of Bungie creates Halo. Bungie creates Destiny. Halo kills Destiny. Well, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. The likelihood that happens is next to none. But it's like a movie. It's like a Hollywood script.
What I really want to see, because I really want to see what they're going to do with their campaign, because I don't think it's going to be the traditional Halo campaign. I think it's going to have traditional elements like, that because when we watched that gameplay trailer, it did feel very combat evolved, like the first Halo, which is a good feel.
That's very good, yeah.
If they also add that open world stuff, explore, do missions in what order, I don't know what they're going to do, right? I think it's going to be a little bit different than the traditional Halo campaign that we've seen over the past couple of games. And then, multiplayer. But what I'm really excited to see is I really want to know what their answer is, because they said they had an answer, what their answer is to the large-scale warfare, like a Battle Royale. Because they specifically came out and said that Warzone 2.0 is our answer to the Battle Royale, So I think we're going to get a lot of information about Halo at this year's E3 or whatever it's going to be, Microsoft's E3 event.
Yeah.
But
it's exciting, regardless. And that brings us... Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, I actually do like that Halo's doing this 343. This wasn't a huge video. They're basically doing what they said. They want to come out with monthly updates. It's going to be nothing, they're not going to drop huge bombs. But I thought this was really good. It was 2 developers talking about answering questions from the community and kind of talking about this little specific feature in the game, the sandbox. And I actually think this is a good, I don't know if you want to call it earn, hype back or gain the hype back, but I think this is a good way to gain that hype back for the game that they probably, lost when they had all their stuff happen last year.
Anytime you have transparency, it's always good. So that brings us to the last segment of our show. This is the question segment.
Question what segment?
This was the question session. To submit a question, you can do so each and every single week over on YouTube, youtube.com/XoneBros. Hit that community tab. And if you're a member, you can submit your question. Our first question comes from the one and only, the manly Manny Man. It's Andrew Coulinane. Sorry. Andrew says, I just got way into Minecraft, first-time player, long-time listener. Is there a game you wanted to play but thought it came out too long ago, so you didn't bother? I got mine right off the bat, Kingdom Hearts. Not because it came out too long ago, but because the catch-up on that story is how many hours?
A lot.
A lot
I mean, you
of
can
hours.
watch videos, but
Yeah.
But can you?
But yeah.
That's what I'm
you
saying.
You have to...
I played... I compared it to Hitman. I played the Hitmans, and I still have no idea what's going on. I watched the videos in preparatory for Hitman 3, and I still don't know what's going on. So, and Kingdom Hearts 3, I watched those. I've watched them. The Catch Me Up stuff. I have no idea who half these people are.
I don't have a
and
clue.
I've seen the Disney movies.
And I know all the Disney characters, so that's half the cast.
I know. I don't understand.
Jordan, game that's just been out too long that you want to jump into, but you're like, I don't think I can.
I don't know.
Spicy, anything come to your mind on that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one.
See, Kingdom Hearts for me, a lot of MMOs do that for me.
Yeah,
like a Final Fantasy, although I did commit last week, if Final Fantasy 14 comes to Xbox, I will be jumping into that with you, Jordan.
I will say Warcraft, and I was grateful that Warcraft Classic came out because it gave me an opportunity to say that I went in at the ground floor a little bit, and I played that for a couple months.
Yeah.
Right? Until I...
Well, see,
was like,
those
gosh,
types of games that have been out for years, the perpetual games that have been out for years is a whole other animal, too, because part of the experience, like Jordan said, is being there live in the moment.
I think I almost feel that way about, like, Division 2.
Yeah.
I can see
because
that.
Division 2 just came out with an update this week where they... it's not
update.
like... Well, kind of. It's like a...
Well, everyone's raving about it.
Well, it's like a... It's
not Jordan.
Well, no, it's... No.
Jordan says Digital Foundry, suck it. You're wrong.
No. They did a good job. Well, and I think they said this too. It's not optimized for Series X because it's still technically playing in backward compatibility mode. They just essentially upped the frame rate and bumped up the graphics just a tiny bit. So anyway, but I feel like in that game, like, I want to jump in. I saw that this week. I'm like, I want to jump in, but then I was like, I'm kind of too far behind. Yeah. Even though there's probably a lot of things in place that help new players. But I don't know. I would say that game because that's how I thought this week.
Another game for me is Ark Survival Evolved.
I was thinking of Ark too.
I want to jump in. I had that actually download on all of my consoles, and I haven't jumped in because it's just evolved so much.
Yeah.
That the other ones are space games. So Elite Dangerous is one that's just changed so much.
See, I want to play Ark because I love survival games, but I'm holding out for Rust.
Yeah,
because
Rust drops.
They're saying the last dev blog update I read from Rust is they were like, guys, we're 95% sure positive it's going to come out in Q1. but we're going to try.
But don't hold your breath.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for Rust to come to Xbox, and I think that'll be my survival game of choice.
Yep.
But yeah, I want to jump into Ark.
Great question, Andrew. Thank you very much for writing in. Matt Ballsy writes in, and he says, good evening, bros. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
What fully announced game releasing in 2021 are you most intrigued about? That's not Halo. Personally, I saw Scarlet Nexus on that Xbox showcase last year, and it piques my interest. Supposed to be released this summer. I'm going to throw another one there as well. It can't be Flight Simulator either. Because we're already...
I know what I'm going to say.
There you go. Go ahead.
It happened this week. I think Chivalry 2 I'm very excited for, to be honest with you. Chivalry 2 and Resident Evil 8. Those are the two games, other than Halo, that I'm really pumped for this year. But Chivalry 2, that trailer just like, oh man, what the possibilities are endless, I think, in that game.
What is coming in Chivalry 2? Spicy, anything
So
that's been announced?
this is not necessarily Xbox.
Oh, okay.
So can I just?
Yeah, let's just go for it. Just give it to me.
I saw it's Epic that's releasing this.
Okay.
And they said 2021, and it might be first quarter 2021, but I think it was. Can't remember. Have you seen what they're doing? What's called MetaHuman?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
No.
I'm gonna pull up a trailer real quick so you guys can see this. It's not Xbox, but it's for game development.
Yeah, it's Unreal Engine.
Yeah, it
MetaHuman.
is awesome. I'm gonna be learning how to create stuff in MetaHuman.
Real-time digital human creation from weeks or even months to less than an hour.
Okay, look at
And
this.
you can create, so we can create ourselves.
Is it like going into Unreal Engine 5 or something like that? Or?
Dude, look at that.
So they're making this on the fly.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
That looks like a real Asian man.
Whoa.
That looks like a real old man.
So they came out
I
with
mean, you
this a
can tell
couple
it's
days
still
ago.
CGI, but this is fantastic.
You know
Whoa.
what it looks like? It looks like on the level of Final Fantasy Kingsglaive CGI, like that hyper realistic CGI.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Epic came out with this a couple days ago, and they're like, it's going to be just... it was not even like a really big announcement. It was just like a... Hold on. And this is... The video we're watching is like not a very good quality. I'm going to switch over.
This is like the ultimate...
Here, give me a sec, everybody watching.
This is like the ultimate character creation, but it's a tool for developers.
Well-
But keep in mind, Unreal Engine is free, so everybody can jump in and...
Well, this is
with
what I
this.
wonder. Is this going to be an update to Unreal 5, or what are they on, Unreal 4,
So-
Unreal 5, that developers can then use in future games?
So look how good this looks.
Wow.
Like, so it's called MetaHuman, and I've been watching stuff on it. They just, they're like, yeah, Epic. They have money upon money upon money,
Yeah.
right? And they're, you know what? We'll just do this. And I'm thinking what I could do with this.
Yeah, dude. What we can do with the X1Bros with this.
I know.
X1Bros, youtube.com/X1Bros. Get in now because we're going to be having some story time
Like, look
happening
how good.
here. Dude, it's so cool. It's the ultimate character creation.
It really is. Like,
And it's all in a tool set, so it's no different than learning like Photoshop or Adobe Premiere.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's
wonder,
a
is
tool set.
it going to be incorporated to Unreal Engine? Because that'll be
I would
exciting
assume
for
so.
developers. You know what I mean? Or people like
Well,
that.
yeah, this is for developers.
that's
Yeah.
what this is for, right? So imagine, like, I'm just thinking of all the possibilities of what we can do. I mean, we could turn this show into just us.
Yeah, so for those of you,
Yeah, that'd
for
be
those,
great.
for those of you listening, if you go look up Epic Games MetaHuman Creator, basically what we're seeing here is they're showing a bunch of different faces, and they're showing them talking and moving around, and they look very, very real. It's not. It's from this character creation, and then what they're doing is showing how they're creating, adjusting eyebrows, hair, wrinkles, facial hair, nose, cheekbones, the whole shot in this app that is creating these characters. That looks amazing. They look like they're saying you are the narrator. You create the narrative. Yeah, because you could easily do lip syncs and the whole shot. It looks like I am MetaHuman.
Yeah, I wonder how.
So good.
I wonder how it lip syncs.
Okay,
So
Spicy.
that's-
Well done.
that's-
Sorry.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
let me give that a nice. slow
Oh,
clap
wow.
there.
Thank you. I
A
only
nice
get
slow
those
clap.
like every couple years.
Yeah, that was good. That's good. That's
No, I really, because this is they said it's coming out 2021, so I just think as a creative, what I could do for fun, for stuff that we do with live on the show and stuff,
Yeah.
and even on top of that, that's just me. Imagine what game developers, how good games are going to be looking,
yeah.
because they can spend only an hour doing this, and then the rest of the time making good games.
The game that I'm most looking
Yeah.
forward to.
I don't know how it works.
The game that I'm most looking forward to in 2021 is MLB The Show.
Oh, yeah,
nice.
yeah.
I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait to roll through a
Play a
season.
little bit of the
I cannot wait
baseball.
to create my own pitcher. I'm always a pitcher. And
Good for you.
I want to be a catcher, the guy behind the bat.
Why not?
I feel like he's very underrated.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the catcher gets the ladies.
And I would make my catcher thick.
Thick
So
with
when
two
the
Cs.
third baseman comes running in, I just stand there.
You're
And
a
he-
wall.
Yeah.
Anyways, great question, Matt Balsley. Thank you very much for writing in. Junior Winking writes in and has a question, and he says,
That's funny, Andrew.
Andrew Cullinane left us a super chat, everybody, and he said, you could put your beard back.
I
Mr.
really
McSpicy."
could.
You
I really could.
Junior Winking writes in and says, Bros, Happy to catch the show tonight. Oh, Junior Winking, thank you very much. He said, I started a new job, and I'm working hard to get up to date with the processes and to prepare for the CPA exam. Well, good luck with that.
Nice.
And good job.
That's good.
He says, anyways,
That's a lot of work.
when you bros have started a new job or had a moment in life where you felt like staying away from gaming to stay focused on big changes in your life, how do you do it? I feel like I have to disconnect from the box completely so I can stay 100% away and focused. Others may think that's extreme, but maybe you guys have some less radical ideas. Thanks, bros. Yeah, I'll give you my experience. So right now, I am the busiest I've ever been in my entire life with a baby on the way in a month.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
I
that.
started a new job. I am head of community for a mobile game, and it is way stressful and super intense. And I've had to drop some things and say, nope, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. And if you're the type that can't, basically, this is what I'm going to say. I have found that in order for me to enjoy and play video games, I've had to step back for the last couple weeks. And this week, finally, I was able to sit down and play a game for relaxation. I play a couple games for relaxation, and it was really nice. So I don't think that it's radical to take a step away for a few weeks because you have to concentrate or focus on something. I think what it does, though, the unintended consequence of it, is that when you do finally get to jump back into a game, it brings back that, oh, right, it's time to relax, and I've enjoyed games like I haven't enjoyed in a while, so it's a nice break. Spicy, let's go to you. Thoughts?
Sure.
Opinions?
Well, I think we've said this on the show a million times. Balance is very, very, very important. If you want to be happy and still enjoy games, you need to have a balanced outlook on gaming and on actually everything. I think it's very important to take care of your family, and I think it's very important, in order to take care of your family, you need to take care of your job, right? And you know those Spellmonger books that we've been reading?
Oh, yeah.
It's mentioned many, many, many times throughout the book, and I've actually always thought this, and he puts it into words very well. The things that make you happy in life is hard work and family.
Yeah.
That's what makes people happy.
What is interesting is I have this balance and constant battle, Spicy, since you brought up Spellmonger, and this has to relate with the discussion, between fiction and nonfiction. There are some nonfiction books that I bounce back and forth, and I read them simultaneously, actually. One of them that I actually think would be really good for you, Junior Wing King, is called The One Thing. It's really good, and it's all about this. The most successful people in the world focus on one thing and make that their one thing. The most successful companies in the world do that as well. KFC, they're focused on chicken. Disney, at the height, storytelling. And then even if they expand, they're still all about that one thing. However, and I think people get into this like, well, I can't learn anything from a fiction. No. Fiction stories have so many lessons to learn and so many like mind-boggling statements and get you to think about stuff. I've been noticing the same thing in Spellmonger as we're reading it. It's like, oh, that's a really good point. Oh, that's a life lesson right there from this fictional story. That's the beauty of storytelling. You can still learn and extract non-fiction ideas and lessons from fiction stories. But
yeah,
anyways.
Well, have you read Alice in Wonderland?
No,
ever?
I never have. I hear it's a trip.
It is. It's I can't remember the author. I should. It's classic literature. I should. But that book, I mean, he must have been high off the kite when he wrote it. But I challenge anyone that has not read that book to read that book and not use a highlighter and highlight interesting things that is written in that book and not have every page highlighted. Like, he has life lessons for pretty much every page in that book. It's fascinating. Anyway, so...
That's how I feel about the February 1999 Playboy issue. It's highlighted.
Perfect example.
Highlighted all over the
every
place.
page. There's something there.
There's something to highlight, a life lesson to learn.
Oh, that's our David, everybody. Anyways, so what I was saying originally is balance. Make sure to take care of your family and take care of your job so your family's taken care of. And gaming is there to help you do that. I honestly feel like gaming is there to help me stay in a good mind so I don't go crazy. You know,
Amen.
with all the work.
Amen.
So it's a balance.
Jordan.
And
sorry.
I want to just say, if you need to break away, like David said, for a couple weeks,
Weeps.
weeks, it's totally fine. That happens all the time. Recently, I have been taking several days off at a time from gaming just because I needed to stay balanced and to do work and everything like that. It's totally fine. So I think if that's what you need to do, you are the judge of what makes you feel good. And I tell my nephews this all the time when they're playing Fortnite and they're getting mad and, you know, playing Call of Duty and they're just angry. I say, pay attention to how you feel while you play. If you are not happy, stop. Amen. Just stop and play something else or go outside, do something, right? Just pay attention to how you feel. And that's a good way to stay happy, stay healthy, and make sure your family's taken care of. That's what I say. Anyways, yeah, Jordan.
Oh no, I think you guys said it perfectly. It's all about balance.
Yeah.
I mean, believe it or not, you can, just like with anything in life, you can get burnt out of games.
Oh,
right?
amen.
So I mean,
Amen.
it's not a bad, like your nephews, right? I mean, I'm sure they're at that where they're getting burnt out. You know, you got to sometimes you have to step back. The game for me is Tarkov. That game makes you. I think it was last week actually. I took a week off from gaming other than the 2 streams just because you feel burnt out, and of course you know you get busy and stuff. But no, I think you guys said it perfectly. Balance is key, and then like David, when you get busy with work and stuff, gaming is always there at the end of the week to relax you. You know,
It's
I mean,
the dessert.
So
Yeah.
not only can you be burnt out of gaming, but it can also relax you. And anyway,
Spicy made a statement, if you want to be happy for the rest of your life. And I would just like to end with these words from our good friend Jimmy Soul. If you want to be happy for
I
the
know the
rest of
song.
your life,
Yeah, it's a great song.
never make a pretty woman your wife.
Take it from my
For my personal point of view, get an ugly girl to marry you. Truer words have never been
I
spoken.
love that song. At the post show, everybody here, we're going to listen to that song on the post show.
Jimmy Soul.
It's a great song.
Thank you very much, Junior Winking. That is a great question. Thank you for writing. Our last question comes from the one and only. It's Super Shocker. He says, I just finished the reboot of the Tomb Raider series, and there is no doubt that Laura gets hotter as the series progresses through the console generations. For example, her hair in the 2013's Tomb Raider looks like straw, but 5 years later in 2018, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, it looks silky smooth and full of
It's
texture.
that Pantene Pro V.
Yeah. She
Now-
changed conditioners.
He said, now it took 5 years and a console jump to get there, but you could clearly see the developers were dead set on making noticeable improvements in each title. In fact, I can't think of a game title that would better demonstrate the progression of character modeling from the blockhead Laura in 1996 Sega Saturn Tomb Raider to the newest one. So with that said, what do you guys see in today's game characters that has improved greatly over the many game generations? I got mine.
Yeah, what's yours?
Everything is voice acted.
Oh yeah.
Voice acting
Sure.
is standard, and that was not always the case. And even now, sometimes there's like a Nintendo game, for instance, that doesn't do that. Sometimes it's hard. It's hard to be like, I've got to read. I can't listen. I can't hear this voice acting.
For example, Dragon Quest actually does both.
Yeah.
They voice act a fair bit of it, and then there's some where it's text, and when when it's the text pops up, you're just like waiting for him to talk, and you're like, oh,
you're not talking.
I got to read this. Okay.
It should say read now.
But no, yeah, voice acting. I think it's just something we become used to, right? So it's almost weird to go back and play those old games.
That is true. So yeah, I think voice acting. Jordan, how about you? Character. What do you think?
I think
today's.
I think
character
the biggest improvement.
boob physics.
I think. Yeah, the physics has gotten excellent over the years. No, I think the biggest improvement of games, and this goes for every game across all genres, is the animations.
Oh yeah,
I think the animations have
they
become
move natural, fluid.
Yeah,
facial expressions.
Well, even if you take a game like Division 2 or not Division 2, the first Division. Do you remember how cool it was? And it's just it's something little, but it's all this little stuff that adds up. How cool was it when we first saw the Division and he went into cover against that car
and then he shut the door.
Yeah, and then as he slid along it, he shut the door.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's just animations. I don't know if you. Yeah, it's an animation. Detailed animations. Even if you take games like Call of Duty, the way the guns reload, how the shells come out. It's just animations. I think have really gone to the next level, and I think animations is what helps immersion.
Absolutely. Spicy, how about yourself? Anything we missed there that you'd like to add on?
No, Jordan was really, really good. I would say on top of that, additional animations
You know,
on like
boob physics.
yeah, like well, let's point that out. Like the facial animations while they talk
Yeah.
is extraordinarily better today, and it's getting better yearly.
Like you can see emotions. You can now start telling story with facial expressions that in games you were never able to do before.
Yeah.
Sure, I mean, let's take that Rockstar game, LA Noire,
yeah.
where you actually had to look at the
Face.
people and be like, is he lying? I think he's lying to me right now. Right? I think Rockstar's interesting. I think they're one of the greatest game developers that pushes animation to the next level. Do you remember how horses were back then when in Red Dead Redemption 1?
Yeah.
And then they come out with that horse model animation where the muscles flex on each part of the body and how they walk and trot and run. It totally changed horse.
Well,
dev
I think
forever.
Well, every horse. It took horse gameplay to the next level.
It really did.
Well,
Yeah.
I think Rockstar is a perfect example. I think Rockstar leads the way because they're not afraid to take risks and try new things with technology.
Yeah.
You know, let's take L.A. Noire. You know, the technology of the facial stuff. It wasn't quite there at the time, but I think it paved the way.
Well, it's
It wasn't bad, but it was just it was
awkward.
it was in a weird spot. You know.
well because they were the first ones that did it and put so much effort into it. Remember that game was 3 discs?
Yeah.
When that wasn't a thing anymore?
Yeah.
And it was because of the animations
Yeah.
where, because you're like looking at them. And that's when the whole movement started to put all the things on the faces. And
The
then
motion capture and all that,
motion
yeah.
capture the actor talking. And then
Which is standard.
it's standard
yeah.
now. That's what I'm saying. Rockstar, they push the envelope a lot.
Even if you take the latest GTA, I mean, the multiplayer alone, I think, is its own trendsetter because of what they do. But if you take GTA 5 with a single-player campaign where it was from 3 different perspectives, I think that was a new, innovative way of telling a story.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think I know that's kind of lean towards Rockstar, but I think Rockstar they're trendsetters, man. They're not
are.
afraid to take risks, and they're not afraid to make a game that they think is fun. You know.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Thank goodness.
Matt Ballsy in chat says, I've played AC Brotherhood and AC3, and my God, old horse physics are unbearable now.
Yeah, they move like blocks. It's disgusting.
They move like blocks. It's terrible.
It's terrible. The Minecraft horses are better.
The Minecraft horses are not bad, actually. I'm gonna say. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you very much for writing in. That was a fabulous question, Super Shocker. Appreciate it. That actually does us for this week's show, everybody. It's been a show and a half. It's been a fun show. If you haven't yet, please make sure you head over to iTunes or Spotify, wherever you listen to us. Rate, review, and subscribe to us there. It really helps out the show. Also, come follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/XoneBros. It is a great time. We have a pre-show. We have the show. And then we have the after show, and we're getting ready for the after show immediately following this stream. It's called the After Show Party, actually. And it is a blast. Jordan, tell me the game you're going to play this week. You were disappointed Final Fantasy didn't announce on Xbox.
Yeah, but I'm still holding out hope. We have some stuff.
Sometimes that's all that's left is hope.
Yeah, maybe Microsoft will announce it. Maybe
I'll
someone
jump in.
will announce
I'll
it.
jump in on that as soon as it comes over.
I'm hoping.
We're hoping. Guys, have a great rest of the week. We'll see you next time.
So hard to find the good days.